From the Waldorf Jaycees Community Center in Waldorf, Maryland, this is a very special edition of the Boxing Along the Beltway post-fight wrap-up show, our regional championship edition from the Golden Gloves. The Boxing Along the Beltway post-fight wrap-up show is brought to you in part by UndisputedBrand.com. Visit UndisputedBrand.com for the finest in boxing and mixed martial arts apparel. Undisputed Brand, the brand true champions wear. And by JM Photography, where your home is your studio. JM Photography 26 at yahoo.com. Hi again, everyone. Gary Digital Williams once again from the Waldorf Jaycees in Waldorf, Maryland. We were wrapping up the regional championships, both the open and the novice division. In the open division, well, folks, it was a clean sweep for DC and Maryland. They went through the entire open division winning, and it will send what should be a very strong team to the National Golden Gloves on May 12th through the 19th at Salt Lake City, Utah. Start, of course, Malik Jackson winning by walkover. We had a chance to talk to him earlier tonight, and he will be winning. He'll be over by walkover. And again, leading up after a great USA Boxing Championships, he has done an outstanding job. Also tonight, Gary Antonio Russell winning really good bout against Corinne Stephen Zayden of Roanoke, Virginia. Did an outstanding job, really stepped it up in the latter stages of the bout and went on to the victory. So Gary Antonio Russell will try to beat. I think this is a first as far as the Beltway region to have 3 members of the same family win a National Golden Glove. Gary Jr. did it in 2005. Gary Allen Russell did it in 2010, and now Gary Antonio Russell became very close in 2011. We'll try to do it again in 2013. Also tonight, Lamont Roach Jr., another dominant performance for Lamont as he went on and defeated Edward Sowen of Blacksburg, Virginia, and really, he was in rare form tonight. Roach has been really on a roll ever since his bid in the USA Nationals also. And the bout, I think, was the best bout of the night going in. And again, I think it was a really solid bout coming out of this. To move some furniture here. Patrick Harris of the Headbangers took on Seth Phillips out of Ashburn, Virginia, Craig Flanagan's gym. And I think we had great hopes for that one. And I think they weren't disappointed because Seth Phillips definitely tried his hardest. But again, I think he went up another competition level facing a Patrick Harris, who really did not fight all that well in the Washington Golden Gloves, but came back strong here tonight in the regionals. Also tonight, Kareem Martin. And some of you older Beltway boxing fans may remember a boxer by the name of Ruben Ratman Belt, and who was a very powerful junior middleweight, 154 pounds, outstanding junior middleweight before his untimely death. I see a lot of Ruben Belt in Kareem Martin with this addition. I see discipline in Kareem Martin that really wasn't always there for Ruben Belt. Now, we're talking different stages, of course. Ruben Belt, we saw as a young pro, and Kareem Martin, of course, still an amateur. But I gotta say that Kareem Martin is one of the hardest hitting amateurs I've seen in quite some time, and he reminds me a whole lot in style and in power of Ruben Belt. He went on tonight to defeat Eric Hernandez in a bout that, quite frankly, wasn't even very close in that particular situation. That was one of the few, I think, that was a real dominant performance in that situation. Also tonight, Jerome Featherstone. This has been a great story to follow over the last year and a half. Jerome Featherstone walks into Jake the Snake's gym over in Baltimore Boxing and Fitness, and really did not have a lot of experience as a boxer, but he comes back and wins his biggest bout to date, I think, and that is a Golden Glove championship in the regionals. He'll be going to Salt Lake City as he defeats Robert Sweeney of Hampton, Virginia. Also tonight, Joe Jones III, in our final bout, put a real, as we said, an exclamation point on his bout, on his card tonight, because Joe Jones literally looks like he was chopping away, just hands just going back and forth, just down on Robert Sweeney until eventually the referee stopped the bout in the 3rd round. So clean sweep for the locals in the open division. Not the same in the novice division. Novice division showed one thing in particular. There are going to be some very solid boxers out of Virginia coming into the open, if not next year, definitely in the next couple of years. There is some talent in the novice division on the Virginia side, and they showed it tonight. The likes of Diego and Matthew Abregu, they both won tonight, and we had a chance to see them over at Cassandra White's card at the Renaissance Hotel a couple months ago, and they really put on good shows. Diego Abregu beat Deontay Burch tonight at Washington, D.C., while Matthew Abregu, the older brother, beat Lamonte Jackson of Largo, Maryland. So again, just a real nice performance by the Abregu brothers. Also, Lamont Ridley out of Emporia, Virginia, defeated Gregory Clark. Also, Chris Laws of Newport News, Virginia, won in the 201 plus division against Jeffrey Knight of Glen Burnie, Maryland. The only wins for the locals on this one, on the novice side, Marquise Pryor won over Henry Midcock of Midlothian, Virginia. Pryor is out of Baltimore in the Umar gym. We also had Jerrod Bowling getting the first stoppage of the night, winning a RSC1 over O'Brien Mapp of South Chesapeake, Virginia. And Sean Day Kellen G, I think, put his best performance together of this tournament as he won in the 201 division against Charles Bright of Leesburg, Virginia. So, the stage is set for May 12th through the 19th, and the National Golden Gloves Tournament Champions in Salt Lake City, Utah. Of course, you can follow all the results on Boxing Along the Beltway and ProAmFightTalk.blogspot.com. I'm not really sure if this group is as polished as the group that the DC region sent last year with the likes of Jerry Odom, Javante Davis, and Demetrius Ballard, and David Grayton, and Michael Reed, and those guys. But I think there's some guys who are going to be very confident coming in, given the year they've had so far. Lamont Roach Jr., Patrick Harris we heard early on, and also Kareem Martin. These are going to be some very confident guys. Whether or not they can stand with the altitude, of course, and having to fight 5 times in 6 days, and of course just the talent level that they have. Will they be as polished and accomplished as the team in 2012? We only can wait and see. We'll find that out May 12th through the 19th and in Salt Lake City, Utah. We've gone over a lot of the schedule throughout the last couple weeks, so we're not going to do that tonight. We want to add one bout to the schedule, and we're adding this based on information that one of the boxers has given us in this situation. Let's move to the pro side. We haven't talked a lot recently about Scott Cujo Sigmund. And Sigmund, ever since his loss to Kelly Pavitt a couple years ago, has only fought 1 time. But he moves into a bout that, quite frankly, could be even bigger than his bout against Kelly Pavitt, because this bout is for 3 regional titles and a possible top 15 ranking in 3 governing bodies. Scott Sigmund on June 22nd in Greensboro, North Carolina, is slated to fight Anthony Hanshaw. Anthony Hanshaw is a very polished boxer, had 300 amateur fights. He comes in a record of 23-2-2 with 14 KOs. His only 2 losses have been to Andre Durrell and Roy Jones Jr. Scott Sigmund, of course, comes in a record of 23-4 with 12 KOs. And again, his last loss was to Kelly Pavlik. So this is a huge step for Scott Cujo Sigmund, and we wish him well. We'll talk more about this as it comes forward, because June 22nd, we already know, is a big day. Not only do they have a card scheduled for the Washington area at Rosecroft Raceway, Seth Mitchell is confirmed. He will fight Jonathan Banks on a card on June 22nd. He co-featured Adrian Bronner and Paulie Malignaggi, and of course now Scott Sigmund and Anthony Henshaw in Greensboro, North Carolina. So that date is getting packed as we speak at this moment. So a lot to come over. We get a week off this weekend. This coming weekend, no boxing around the area. But again, May 11th, May 18th, and all through June, we're going to be very, very busy. So stay with us right here on Boxing Along the Beltway. That'll do it here for the Waldorf Jaycees. Remember, the Boxing Along the Beltway post-fight wrap-up show is brought to you in part by UndisputedBrand.com. Visit UndisputedBrand.com for the finest in boxing and mixed martial arts apparel. Undisputed Brand, the brand true champions wear. And by JM Photography, where your home is your studio. JM Photography 26 at yahoo.com. I'm Gary Digital Williams. Thanks for joining us, and remind you as always, keep supporting the best boxing in the world. The Boxing Along the Beltway. Take care.